Welcome everybody. Today we're going to be covering augments. This video will serve as both a demonstration of their usage and how to get started with the API. Okay, I have neighbors, they have dogs, they sometimes bark. Sorry if that happens during this video. Okay, we'll get started with the parsing first. Um, Augments are saved into TOML files like you can see here. And in the TOML file we use keywords for the type of modifiers used on an augment. Okay, let's start with the parts of an augment. An augment has a name, it has a description, and it has modifiers. Okay. The name, self-explanatory. Description, I hope that is too. It's just a string that you can use a method on to get. If you can make it whatever you want, handle it however you want. The modifiers are the important part here, and these guys, we have two types. We have attack and we have defense. The attack modifiers are triggered on a player when they're doing an attack, and the defense modifiers are triggered on a player when they're defending an attack. Okay, modifiers have to be saved to an augment, so there's no using them without the augment. The augment allows for multiple types of modifiers, even of the same kind, stacked as many as you want, or as little as you want. Okay. Um, we have defaults for anything that doesn't get put in. There's a default. Okay. The bare minimum I think that you need is going to be just a modifier. If you were to specify just this modifier and nothing else, it would have 100% chance it's or 100% chance its value would be 100%. The damage would apply to all, the origin to all, to everything would default to all. Anything you do not set defaults to full or all. Okay, so technically the bare minimum you need is just the modifier itself. But we have values that we can set. We have what that's going to mean is it's going to be a reflection of the percent of damage being done. If you don't specify flat, we do support flat rates too. If you specify flat by doing like this, boom, now this is going to do 100 flat rate. Okay. Well, not piercing specifically because that's cat, but if it was critical, it would definitely do 100 bonus damage on top of whatever damage you were doing flat. Boom. Okay. We have damage. You can specify the damage. These are the filters that we use for augment modifiers. Okay. You have damage. You have creature type. You have race. You have origin, and you have creature name. That's right. You can actually set the name for a creature. So you can specify something, one of these modifiers to only activate on a specific creature. As you can see down here. I guess it's monsters how we put it in here because it's only going to work. We only support monsters, not players. So damage specifies the originating damage that you're trying to affect. Okay. We have all of these keywords accepted. If you do none, it's the same as all. None and all are the same. They're going to do everything. Like I said, anything that you don't specify or anything that's set for none specific, it's going to do all. Okay? You got physical or melee. It depends on which word you feel like using. Same with energy or electric, earth or poison. Okay? Life drain, life steal, life leech, whichever ones you prefer. We support all of these keywords, and it's going to be the same combat there. Okay? There's not three different combats. Those are all the same ones. So we got water and we got drowning, or you can say ice, holy, death, or curse if you want. Um, We support origins. Okay, for our origins, we can do all and none. Again, gonna be the same. You can do damage that specifically comes from a condition, from a spell, melee, ranged, or from one of our modifiers. Okay? Absorb and restore, reflect, deflect, ricochet, piercing. These guys all create new combats internally when they're triggered. So you can actually create your modifiers to only work on other modifiers. Alright? We have races that you can use, which these are the basic races that came with the server. And we have creature types. You can specify this by creature type. Okay? We have player, monster, NPC, all summons means all summons, or you can just say summons, or all summon, I'm sorry. Or you can just say summons. Own summon is your summon specifically, same with my. Hostile is going to be any summon that's not a guild mate's, a party mate's, or your own summon. Okay? Any summon that doesn't qualify as one of those three, it's hostile, it's enemy. You can use either one of these keywords for that. And like I said, you can specify guild summon, your party summon. We have bosses in black tech. Okay, thanks to Omen for that. We have bosses. We can check if it's a boss. And we can do all or none, just like we do with everything else, okay? So let's look at an example where we use the creature type. Because I don't specifically remember. Oh, here we go, right here, target. Target equals boss. So the keyword or the operator, whatever it is, I don't know. For this parser, what you want to use is the word target and then set it to one of these keywords here, okay? Boss, all summons, no summons, whatever. Or I think that covers pretty much the entire TOML part. Hey, so this part, oh, sorry guys. This part up here in the top, it's what separates one instance from another, okay? Technically, you can put the same names here over and over again because they're not really used. This is really just used for organization or whatever. But they can't accept spaces, so don't do that. See, it's an error. But pretty much, it's pretty simple to understand this format, I think. Alright, so how do you use these augments? Like I said before, you can save them to an item or you can save them to a player. We support both. Oops. Looks like my guy logged out. But I still have some prints going on here where from when I was doing the saving, and as you can see, it's looking for the augments when you log in, and they do save to items or any of that. These are all items that have some demonstration augment I created for testing purposes. Still there. They're still all augmented. Let me get logged back in on this other character. Okay, so how to use them. There is a API, and I'm going to modify this list so that it's complete, and I'm going to merge it with this list so that you have everything in one file you need for coming back and referencing how to use it. Okay, this is the list I actually wrote out before I started making it, and I was basically putting my ideas together. on how I wanted to do the API. So we do have augment creation and damage modifier creation directly in Lua, and I think these parameters are pretty accurate to what I actually ended up doing. But we're not going to be covering that today. That's pretty extensive and that's really dynamic, and that's not the point of the video. Okay. But yeah, there is an API for managing these objects creation and entire lifetime through Lua. We're going to stick with the TOML today. You do have item add augment, where you can use the name of the augment. Now that name will be there, it'll be valid. So if you load Wisdom of the Ages right here, this is the name, not the top thing. This is. If you load this in, oops. If you load this in, this is saved and you start your server up and it's in the correct location and it loads up, boom. From that point on, yes, there's an index that has Wisdom of Ages as the name. It's the index for this augment. You can create as many copies from this augment in Lua from that. Okay. Or you can create an augment manually in Lua, and then you can pass the augment for an item to add augment that way. So this works for both add and remove. It works for get and has. And then we have those same exact repeat methods for player. All of these are there, they all work. So player, I think player also has get augments, so you can get all the augments and iterate through them if you want. And it doesn't take a param for that. Yeah. So that's a brief crash course on the Lua there. Again, that's not what we're really mainly after today. Mainly, we just want to cover how to use TOML and then get started with them. So I have these two simple scripts I was using when I was testing. And this is basically a copy off of the create item script with much less security. And as you see here, I actually create an augment in Lua, which you have to do to be able to use them. Unfortunately, one way or another, you have to create the augment in Lua anyway. And I'm passing the string. So I'm actually saying slash augment item name or number, and then for my last param I do a name. So let's see how that looks. And since I don't have any checks on this, I can actually do it on a normal character. Slash augment 2469. I think it's those dragon legs I've been doing. And what was that? We saw something of Wisdom of Ages. It was. Let's try that. Wisdom. And this does have to match exactly, or it won't work for this command I'm using anyway. But there it is. And let's see it say it. Wisdom of Ages. So what we do is we're passing a string of an augment that's created in TOML, and that's saved there as a index we can use to create dynamically on the fly in Lua. Well, I guess that's not really on the fly. I'm sorry. Well, I guess it depends on how you use it. But anyway, you just create the augment, and then I did create the item that I was trying to make. And I took that item and I hit it with the add augment. Like I said, add augment, remove augment, has augment, get augments. Those work for both player and item, I believe. Those are really all you need, and you can start creating your augments today. Let's take a look at some of these in game now. So I've done a lot of testing. I don't even know what is cool anymore. We'll just start off with a defense monk I created. We'll see what we'll see what I got on me. What do I got on me? I got nothing on that. Oh, these aren't even. Oh, this is the only augmented piece, the one we created here. And we had. Where is the Wisdom of Ages? It's basically reform. Okay, so this cool demonstration here is it converts all damages to holy. And this was before I was, or the point of this is that I can set different values for each one. If I wanted to manually set values for each one, instead of just doing nothing for the damage filter and having it apply to all, I can individually tweak them, which is kind of cool. Okay, but one way or another, pretty much all damage I take, it's getting turned into holy. And since I absorb holy, I will absorb that. So let's take a look at that. Give him an attack. Oh, look at that. There we go. You reform 2 energy damage from holy. Okay, so I got a typo there. Needs fixed. But you can see it's working. I just had to type damages in backwards order there. But yeah, everything is getting converted to holy at some percentage or another. And it's building up into absorb. So let's take a look at something else then. How about, what do I got in here? This is more absorb. We're not really interested in absorb anymore. What we got here? Lifesteal flat rate. Let's toss him a lifesteal. Which one is this? This is lifesteal full, so all the damage I'll do will be lifesteal. I guess I could have passed myself a sword, huh? Let's try just a regular old sword, I guess. Or what does this sword got? Nothing? Okay, cool. It is a regular old sword. Bam. 150, 150, 150, 150. 163, 163. I am healing. For the damage I'm doing. It's kind of cool right now. Let me take this off so we can see just that going on. There we go. He gets hit for 123. I'm healing for 123. Or he's healing himself for 123. I'm sorry. It's not showing me healing because I'm I've not really lost any damage here. So let me take some of that off here. Well, throw that back on there and do our life steal. What? Oh yeah. It doesn't have any life steal by itself. Sorry, the life steal's here. So now, there it is. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So let's try something else. Let's do the deflect. Let's try. I think I got a full deflect augment as a demo. Try augment 2469. What do I call it? Deflect full. There we go. I don't know if you guys are catching that. But like he just tried to hit me and it popped back that direction. It's harder to see with these area attacks than I thought it was gonna be because the attack is so small right now. It's bouncing as ones instead of. Let's try to hit myself with something that hurts. That's what we'll do. Guess they don't hurt that much, but they'll definitely do more than 50 damage, which is the default modifier or multiplier, whatever, for deciding how many squares we're gonna hit. So that's a config. We can divide the damage by whatever number you want, but however many times that number is reached in the damage that was be deflected, up to a maximum of 6 tiles you can do to spread the damage out. So right now you can see the deflection is popping off way bigger melee hits. And there that fire was full on 6, full on 5, or 6 or whatever. So much easier to see the damage this way being deflected. Anyways, guys, there's crits. There's all kind. Let's try crits real quick. Okay, so it should have just went in here. There it is. We're gonna pop crits off now. Boom, boom. And the way this works is it's not gonna just count for your melee. It's gonna count for all the attacks that you're doing. And if it's not specified specific, with our filters that we got here, if we don't specify stuff specifically for this crit, it's gonna apply to everything. Right now, it's applying to even the deflected damage, as you can see. I'm critting off a deflected damage because I'm only attacking this one person. I'm not using any spells. But I keep critting these other guys from the deflects. So that's kind of cool. This does not have diminished gains like Tibia. Sorry, that's not what it does. It doesn't always crit in the entire area combat, as you can see. So each tile has its own chance. That's how that works. It's a little bit different in that aspect, but it's kind of its own diminished gains, and I like the way it is like this. Anyway, guys, test it out, have fun. Um, hit me up if you have any serious questions that you can't figure out, and I hope you guys enjoy.